beyond 18 games for free. We changed that in the 2011 CBA. Moving forward in 2020, the players opened up the CBA negotiations with collective bargaining stances that called for massive increases in salaries for our players, increases in our share of revenue, better benefits for former players. The league tied that to a 17th game season, and they bought that right to go to 17 games.
So now it's 17 in the regular season. Will that 17th be a divisional matchup? ESPN insider Dan Graziano.
I think they're going to try and do that because I think more than ever, they're now going to want to incentivize teams to play their guys as long as possible, right? Now, with the extra game, I think teams and players are going to look for opportunities to rest probably late in the season, especially on playoff-bound teams. But if you do the division games at the end of the year, and I really don't know why they wouldn't be able to, right. If you do the division games at the end of the year, that has tended to have an impact on that, and as does the fact that there's only one team in each conference that gets a bye now. So, I think I don't get the sense that they're going to move away from other schedule stuff they've done. It's just they're adding a week.
And hoping teams will play their marquee players in the games at the tail end of the season, which could be a reason to back-end the schedule with divisional matchups. We'll see how teams handle it. Here's our Shea Cornett.
The wear and tear part on the players is the most important. I just wonder, as we see 17 games, maybe it moves to 18 games. I don't think in our lifetime it'll ever get to 20. But point being, as more games, regular season increases, I wonder if we're going to start to see load managing now on the NFL side, something that we haven't really ever seen. I mean, you see the Pittsburgh Steelers rest Big Ben Roethlisberger and some of their older veteran players when they haven't had a proper bye week and whatever at the end of the season when they've already clinched the playoffs. But now I wonder if we're going to see more of that because you don't have a double bye, even though you add an extra game, and how that impacts overall how you plan for the upcoming season.
And speaking of planning, in addition to it being a 17-game season, it will be a season with fans. Commissioner Roger Goodell saying, quote, football is simply not the same without fans, and we expect to have full stadiums in the upcoming season. SportsCenter all night, ESPN Radio. The Utah Jazz were in their charter plane on Tuesday. They were headed for Memphis. They had to make an emergency landing. It happened shortly after takeoff. The plane flew into a flock of birds, which in turn resulted in an engine issue. No injuries reported, at least to the humans on the plane. On the court, Suns 117-110 over the Hawks. Suns a 10-3 record in the month of March. They've won 10 or more in consecutive months for the first time since 2007. Nuggets a 104-95 win over the Sixers. Nuggets 44 points in the first quarter. Among the games on Wednesday, Nets and Rockets. Nets have been in the spotlight about what they've done, adding players and creating a super team. Our Stephen A. Smith.
Somehow, some way, I'm not in a very good mood, y'all. I'm not in a good mood at all. Because I don't want the Nets to win like this. I don't want KD to get another title with the deck stacked so absurdly in his favor. That's happened once already. And I sure don't want Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge to get their first rings like this. They were once cornerstones of a franchise. Players who had expectations to lead a team to a title. Now they're reduced to hopping a ride on the Brooklyn Nets.
Blake Griffin, of course, last week saying he was washed up and being called old and decrepit before, but now that he's joining the Nets, he's great once again. Straight ahead, a significant Final Four on the women's side. SportsCenter all night continues. It's ESPN Radio.
Hey, it's Greeny, and Wednesday, the Final Four field will be set, and Ryan Sandberg will be our baseball legend. Don't miss it. It's me, Greeny, starting 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN Plus.
Hello, this is your apartment.